local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome into the Canadian Brewhouse for another edition of the Tuesday Night Sports Show. Blue Jays smoked in back-to-back games. They need a win tonight in the second game of the doubleheader. You can catch it here at the Canadian Brewhouse. Also, CFL season is in full swing. The NFL season is just around the corner, and we're just over 70 days away from the Oilers season. And this is the home of Edmonton Oilers hockey. This is the home for sports here in Lloydminster, the Canadian Brewhouse. Well, right now at the new Lloydminster Nissan, you can get 0% financing on the incredibly popular Nissan Rogue, Nissan Sentra, and Nissan Kicks models. And a reminder that at the new Lloydminster Nissan, the service department is now open on Saturdays from 9 to 1. Any tire work or oil changes that you need can now be booked for Saturday. Toby Culham and Melissa Pederson join us tonight. Toby's here. He's going to tell us all about the Highland Carnage 2 at Suffern Lake Regional Park. That's next Saturday. And Melissa will be pulling double duty. She's representing a minor ball today and the Lloydminster Bobcats. So she'll get us caught up on all things Lloydminster minor baseball, as she is the interim president. And the Bobcats are looking for billet families this fall. We'll find out if you might be in line or eligible or would like to become a billet family. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with over 22 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, give Superior Water a call, 780-875-6636, or see them at their 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft, and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and after all, it is superior water. Well, we'll be heading out this week to deliver more cupcakes to a very deserving caregiver. Cupcakes for Caregivers is proudly brought to you by Sobeys Lloydminster and the Lloydminster and District United Way. You can nominate a caregiver or caregivers that have made a difference in your life or a loved one's life by emailing livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. So whether that might be a nurse or a doctor or another healthcare professional or a family member that takes care of those closest to you, all you have to do is tell us about them in an email, livewithkurtprice@gmail.com. Well, we now have a date for the grand opening of the Cenovus Energy Hub. You're invited to the grand opening on October the 1st at 5 p.m. Bring out your skates and hit the new ice. There'll be 3 ice to choose from. Well, probably 2 at that point. There'll also be a barbecue and kids' activities between 6 and 8 p.m. It's a big day for our community. October the 1st, grand opening of the Cenovus Hub. Well, it's time now for the Lloydminster Look Back. And as we get ready for the August long weekend, we take a look back at a completely different Heritage Day event. And we go back to 1993 today.
Look to each other and shake your hands. Congratulate yourselves for creating one of the best countries in the world.
Canada is full of ethnic diversity, with some 68 nationalities in Alberta alone. Today's Heritage Day festivities are a celebration of that diversity and a reminder of the duties we owe our nation.
For there is no right without a parallel duty, no liberty without the supremacy of the law, no high destiny without earnest perseverance and hard work, and no real greatness without self-denial. So my friends, this is Heritage Day for me. This is what I come to believe in heritage. And so while we dance and sing and eat different foods, let us not forget our heritage goes much deeper than that.
The aroma of ethnic food brought hundreds of people out to Bud Miller Park this afternoon. Everything to whet the appetite, from traditional German, Hungarian, Chinese, Ukrainian, and Chilean food to spicy souvlaki from Greece.
The staff has done a wonderful job in getting numerous food vendors and craft booths out. So there's so much more to see this year than last. Each year it gets better and better.
Over at the amphitheater, a host of multicultural entertainment included everything from the Bells and Bows square dancers to a taekwondo demonstration, and dance troupes doing Polish, Hungarian, French, Ukrainian, and Egyptian, amongst others. Plans are in the works for next year.
Get the community involved in seeing what they want to do for next year. We certainly would appreciate their input and their support. How we can do something better. They've been out every year, and we would like to hear some feedback from them as well.
The festivities continue through the evening at Bud Miller Park. Michael Higgins, News Hour.
BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and will help you get your life back. When any kind of disaster hits, it is such a disturbance to your life, and you're going to want to get your life back as soon as possible. Well, that's what BioClean Disaster Services does. They take care of your belongings and your property, and they take care of you and your family. BioClean Disaster Services, Lloydminster's local restoration company, also Lloydminster's largest restoration company, and of course they service the surrounding area as well. 1-833-246-8326. We'll take a break here at the Canadian Brewhouse, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Carnage 2 at Suffern Lake next Saturday with Toby Culham.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Welcome back to the Canadian Brewhouse, where it's Talk About Tuesday, and the Blue Jays are playing the second game of a doubleheader, and they're in a little bit of trouble right now. 2 out, bases loaded. You can catch that game here at the Canadian Brewhouse, and it's a beautiful day. It might be a perfect day to head out on the patio here at the Canadian Brewhouse as well. Oh, Toby Culham is here, and he's the mastermind of Carnage 2 out at Suffern Lake. These are Highland games that... we could call them Highland games, right?
Yeah, they usually go by Highland games or heavy games. Yeah.
But Toby is here to tell us all about them, and he is the mastermind behind it. And we had a awesome time with him last year talking about these games. So, Toby, thanks for giving us some of your time tonight.
No, that's fair. It's awesome that you guys let me come back on here again after the last time. So I couldn't have done too badly the last time.
Well, let's talk about the Highland Games Carnage 2 at Suffern Lake. Well, let's look back at last year. How was the inaugural one? How did that go and set up this year?
Last year's was really amazing. The Marsden rec board and all that did a fantastic job down at Big Manitou. Ran into a little issue this year, and then I was on my way back from Utah, and we weren't sure what we were going to be doing this year. And Hal Wright and them from Suffern Lake called me up, and they're like, "Hey, we would really like to put these games on, and if you'd like to come out to the lake and take a look, let's see what we can make happen." So, I barely got my shoes in the door, and we were back on the road. We went up to Suffern Lake and went out there, and we had a look around, and the people out there were absolutely amazing. and then things have been just like a bullet train going forward. So they cleaned out a nice area for everybody. You know, they got face painting, they got 2 bouncy houses, and that coming the Marsden rec board again is going to help out Suffern Lake, which is really cool. The Sun Lake rec board is in on it. Suffern Lake is in on it. The Sun Lake 4-H club is coming out to help out. You got the beer gardens. You got all kinds of stuff on the go this year. Everything came together so fast. It just, like I said, it's my feet have been smoking along the grass here, trying to keep things going. And this one should be fantastic as well. I love how they're kind of 2 separate communities, but the same community, and everybody kind of came together to make this work out there. And it's a positive when you see so many negatives in the world. So it's great to see everybody, you know, all come together and work together. And my part's the easy part. I just got to throw trees and stuff, so that's all right.
Well, tell us about that event and what other Highland games.
The Highland events, you know, you'll have your stone throw. So there's a field stone and a bramer stone. One's a lighter stone, one's the bigger, nasty stone. So a field stone, you can actually approach what they call the trig, which is usually a wood block at the front of a large rectangle. So you can take as many steps towards it as long as you don't go over it or touch it or anything, and you launch it. And then kind of like a shot put. And then you got the bramer.
But with a bigger stone.
The bramer is the big stone.
That's the big one?
That's the big one. That's for the men, it's usually in that 24 pounds and up. So it's been, I've even seen people doing up to a 75-pound stone. So it can be nasty. And as any farmer out here knows, there are no 2 stones that look the same. So it don't matter where you go, you know, you're getting a different nasty stone. And then you got your weight for distance. So your weight for distance is that almost cannonball looking weight with a chain on it. So you can twirl inside the rectangle, but again, you can't go ahead of that board and you can't touch the board, right? So you take it and you launch it, and if you don't let go of it in the proper time, you're all over the grass like last week's laundry. You're sprawled. So that's fun. And those come in, there's a lightweight and a heavyweight for distance. You got your hammers, which is it can be everywhere from if you're I think it's about 13-year-old, it's about 8 pounds. But as you go up, it goes from 12 to 16 to 22. So those are on a 4-foot stick. So then you add that 22 pounds for the heavy hammer, 4 feet plus the length of your arms, and you're spinning it. And you're trying to keep your feet locked in there on there. It's a good time. It's you got to be fully aware of what's going on, I got to tell you. So we got those, and then we got this year we'll have the weight over bar, which is it's basically everybody's heaviest weight. So masters would be 42, amateurs would be a 56-pound stone weight, and you shorten the chain right up, so the handle's almost right on it, and then you one-hand it as high as in the air as you can over the bar. The name is pretty self-explanatory for that one, but
yeah,
I can tell you from experience that I've had to throw that 56, and she's a job getting it up over even 10 feet. I got to tell you, man. You know, it's all relative to each person too, right? Or just like
my back hurts just thinking about it.
Oh man, it's something. And then we move on to usually the caber. The caber toss. Everybody loves to watch the caber.
That's the big one, right? That's
the tree.
the tree.
Yeah. So Those vary from about 35 pounds up to, they can go up to about 120, depending on how the athlete you are, if you're a pro or whatever, and they get bigger and bigger. But they're usually anywhere between 13 and 22 feet long. So you got to hold that tree, usually hold it fairly high up onto your bread basket there.
Balancing it.
And balance it. So, and they're top heavy, so as they're up there, all the weight's at the top. You're holding on to about 2 feet at the bottom. So there can be anywhere from 10 to 15 feet of tree above you. Then you got to start moving with it, still keeping it balanced. Plant your feet, explode, and have it come down. And it's got to do one full flip, so it'll come over, land, and then it's got to carry over. And the closest to 12 o'clock is what scores. And that there can be one tricky little critter at times, I got to tell you. It's because it'll flop either way, depending on the ground or the shape of the tree. So it's and a lot of different places. Again, the trees are different. So I've been places where the trees are 22 feet long, but they're only about 2-3 inches thick, and they just whip in that wind. Or you get to some places and it's you got a log building home kind of log on you. This year, Vulcan Welding is working on some uprights for me. So we will also be doing the sheaf toss. That's the pitchfork with that almost a square, they call it a sheaf, but it's almost like a bale. And that's the one where people are firing it straight up and trying to get it over the bar. Almost like throwing a bale in the top loft of your barn kind of looking thing, right? I've seen lots, some of them hit about 30 feet. So, and that's 16 to 20 some pounds going a long ways up off of a pitchfork. So it's always fun. It's always entertaining to watch. Everybody that's watching always has an event that they love to see, but it gives you more respect for the sport. If it's after we're done, or we're taking our little spot in the middle where we have a quick sit down or whatever, come over and grab the weights. Once you start picking them up and even just standing there just dangling them, when you realize what you got to do to try and move on your feet and try to keep your feet under you, it gives you a new respect for the sport in a hurry.
Oh, I bet. Especially when it's windy. That caber toss. Oh, like I can't imagine doing it, but there's no days without wind here.
No.
We got a beautiful day today. There's wind.
And it doesn't take a lot of tree to catch, even a 3-inch tree, you don't realize how much wind it's catching until it's 12 feet above you, because that whole 3 inches all the way up. It's like the border markers. You can see them twist in the wind, and they got holes in them, and they're supposed to be all tapered going up to catch less wind. But we all know they've had to be reset, twice?
Yeah.
And this is just a tree that you're supposed to be holding onto with your hands.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What time does everything get started, Toby?
We will be hitting. We'll be hitting it at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll be, everybody will be out there warming up. We'll be led out to the field actually this year by a piper, and we're gonna come out there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and from there we'll get the show on the road.
How many people do you have competing this year? Do you know? At this point, do you know?
Right now I'm sitting at 12.
Okay, that's pretty darn good.
That's a full day of lots of watching.
Yeah.
So.
And do you have an event that you like the best, that you specialize in?
I don't know if I really specialize in any of them, but I do like throwing hammers. Throwing a hammer when I get a new person and I'm trying to help them out, I try to explain it like you're at the tee box and you just shanked a horrible, horrible ball. And when that golf club's coming around, you just let it go. Just let it go. That was a bad club anyhow. Just let it go.
Well, have you had a lot of people, like, since last year's event, did you have people go, you know what, I want to try this?
I've had a few people getting a hold of me and everything. It's the problem is summer's a short span around here, and trying to get out to comps and trying to help accommodate other people with it. But it's coming around more. I'm getting a lot of people reaching out. Actually, not even just in town, all around. So there's actually guys out from Neilburg and all that starting to want to come out and get some touches in on some of the equipment. But again, it's kind of hard in such a vast area.
Does it feel like it's growing though? Is this something we could maybe one day see at the fair here in town or something like that?
If not the fair, it would be nice to have something even on Canada Day or something, because they got that whole open field. If the city was willing to work with a guy a little bit on stuff, then it would be great to have a show on something like that. It brings a lot of people. There's a lot of the older people still are very interested in it. You go, Saskatoon will be having their big Celtic festival this year. After we're done out in Marsden, I believe it's 2 weeks to Sedgwick. They're having one. Like, it's getting bigger and bigger, especially in this area. So, and like I said last year, we were talking about it. It's always nice to see new sports brought up in an area, because not everybody is a hockey person, not everybody's a ball person, and it's nice to show different things that people may or may not be interested in. Our town is getting so multicultural now that you got to be open to a little bit of everything, right?
It's no surprise to see somebody playing cricket now.
No, exactly. Over at the comp, I see that a fair bit.
Yeah, 10 years ago, you'd never.
Yeah.
10, 15 years ago, that never happened.
I
So
believe even at the casino, I missed it. They had was it the Aboriginal games or
Hand
something?
games?
Hand games?
Hand games, yeah.
That looked very interesting.
Yeah, and confusing as all get out.
I bet.
Like, don't ask me how to do that. Like, I've seen it, but don't ask me how to do it. Same thing with these. Like,
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome to watch, but I don't think I could ever do it. But you're right. Like, where would you practice? Like,
Yeah.
to do the caber toss, where are you going to practice?
I usually try to find over at the comp, I tried to stay on a strip that's not going to interfere with the rugby or the football, but there's getting to be less and less spots for a guy to do stuff, right?
What's your cost to get in at Suffern Lake for the day?
For the day, I believe it's $5.
That's just regular entry, right?
Yeah,
to
just
a
regular
regional park.
entry. Come down, and then they got burgers and all that on the go, and like I said, they got so much stuff on the go there. Come down for the day. It's a beautiful park. They have been doing crazy good things down there. We're staying out there right now. It's been beautiful. It's all green and everything. The fishing, I heard, is doing all right out there, but yeah, it's a beautiful place. They got lots on the go, especially that weekend. Like, they're talking car shows and they're talking all kinds of stuff. So,
what are you guys competing for? What's the prize?
Each level, I try to make sure that they got enough money for, I raise money and whatnot, and then there's just trophies. But eventually, so we take all the scores for that, and each guy, if they're big into it, there's a Canadian Scottish Association that keeps all the scores, and then at some point they actually get invited to the big games. So
where are those at?
Some of them, well, I think the biggest one's out in Halifax, but there's some big ones down in the U.S. that get you notoriety and you get invites to as well, depending on where you're starting to land on stuff, right? Canmore's got a huge games down by the mountains. So it's just as you work your way through all the, you can't just start at the bottom and expect to go to some of these shows, but some of these guys can, oh man, I've seen guys put that 22-pound hammer on a laser beam for for 120 yards, and it's whoa, like a guy doesn't realize how fast that thing's moving coming out of your hands until you see it leave the divot in the ground, and it's not usually a soft ground. Like, it's coming in like a howitzer, you know. But it's a good time.
How do you get a hold of you for more information, Toby?
I got a Facebook page. You know, look it up. Just Highland Carnage. You can go on there, leave messages. I've been trying to post as many of the games for all the areas as I can, so people know where to come to. They can check it out and reach out. As far as Suffern Lake, they have it right there on their website. I guess their website's been blowing up. They've had thousands of views on their website on this already, so it's looking like it could be a pretty big one this weekend coming up there.
Anything I'm forgetting, Toby?
I don't think so. We'll pretty much be going rain or shine. If it is rain, just bear with us a little bit. Nobody wants one of those things slipping out of their hands, but if there's a fence up, don't cross the fence. It's your own safety. I don't care if you got a helmet or not. It ain't gonna save you. Just, come out, have a fantastic time. The kids will love it. There's so much to do, and what's better than spending a sunny day at the park watching and listening and just having just a great time? It's a great family event.
Well, hopefully it's hot. Hopefully you get a nice day. Not too hot. But
not too hot. Last year was a scorcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Toby.
No problem.
Appreciate
buddy.
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, and we'll come right back here at the Canadian Brewhouse on Talk About Tuesday. And Melissa Pederson is going to join us, and we're going to talk minor ball, and we're going to talk about billeting Bobcats.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden & Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden & Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure is always part of the day. Come experience care freedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster. For adults 55 plus, enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. Stop in and say hello to their new general manager, Nicole, at 7211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side. and visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster. Care Freedom Living starts here. Well, we are joined by Melissa Pederson, who is pulling double duty. She's going to be representing the Bobcats today, and also we're going to be talking to the interim president of Lloydminster Minor Ball about what's happening with Lloyd Minor Ball. So thanks for joining us here at the Brewhouse.
No problem.
Let's start with ball. Let's start there. What's it been like for a season for Lloydminster Minor Ball? How are your numbers? How are your teams? And then we'll get into kind of what's been happening on the field.
Okay, I think it's been a pretty good season. I'm not sure where our registration was in previous years, but this year we have just over 400 athletes participating, so that seems pretty good.
I would say.
Yeah, our grassroots is where we really thought that we need to focus. We've got a brand new board, 100% all new members, and so our U7 and our U9s both had between 90 and 100 participants in each category. So I think the future of Lloyd Minor Ball is looking pretty bright, starting from the ground up.
How many teams is that? Like 400 players?
At the U7, we try to keep those groups pretty small because they're 5 and 6 year olds, so attention spans and more reps keeps their attention better. So we keep those at about 8, and we had 12 teams there. And at U9, we had 9 teams in Lloydminster this year.
Lloyd always seems to be good at ball. Like, it always seems like Lloydminster has good ball players. We always hear they're, provincials. Somebody's always going to provincials, whether it's females or males. How are things going this year?
Things are fantastic. This past weekend, we had 3 of our teams competing. One of our U13 AA teams competed at Tier 6 and won the championship this weekend up in St. Albert. One of our U15 AA teams hosted here this past weekend, provincials, and they took the silver medal, so that was really well. And then our only U18 AA team that we had went and competed in Leduc. They didn't come home with a medal, but they played some really close games, so we'll call that a win.
Was that over at the Hospital Diamond?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a busy place.
Yes, it was very busy. They hosted 6 teams, and they did a fantastic job. And the weekend before, our U15A team hosted there 2 weekends ago, provincials, and they did a great job of hosting. And Baseball Border is giving us a lot of hosting opportunities, and I think that showcases what kind of facilities we have here in Lloydminster and what great people we have running everything, too.
So provincials are wrapping up?
We have 2 more teams coming this upcoming weekend. Our U15 AA, our other one, just got moved up to Tier 1, so they're traveling to Spruce Grove this weekend. And our other U13 AA team is hosting here at Driven Legion Ballpark, Tier 2 provincials this upcoming weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah.
That's when people want to watch ball, is that that's it for minor ball for the season? That's
it for minor ball for the season. Well, for regular season. Actually, this fall, we are for the first time ever going to offer fall ball for our association, and it's just the month of September. They travel. We don't know where you travel. It's Baseball Alberta. You play 2 games every Saturday in September just to keep the season a little bit longer for those kids that want a little bit more ball, and we're going to do that, and then offer some winter training in the vault over the winter, and that's what the remainder of the year looks like.
So when we hear that there's more ball coming around the Synovus Energy Hub, I don't know if you would know, but is one of those reasons because we have 400 players in minor ball? Do we need the space?
I would say we need the space of the high caliber diamonds, yes. The Legion is a beautiful facility, but it's hard for the 2 Lloydminster Amateur Softball and Lloydminster Minor Ball to host on the same weekend. We can't. It's one or the other, so we're limited in that regard. And just even for scheduling, we're definitely running out of space. We use a lot of school diamonds, which is really nice that the schools will let us use their diamonds, but it would be nice to get a couple more of the nice diamonds in town.
Well, so I walk by all the time. They're playing ball over by the hospital, and the scoreboard. You can look up the scoreboard, see what's happening. There's food trucks there.
Yep.
It really does become a big event, doesn't it? When you're hosting a big thing like provincials this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Driven Diamond 4 over at the Legion that'll be really good baseball to watch this weekend. If anybody wants to pop down there, you can always find their schedule on our Facebook page. I'm sure it'll be posted, as well as Baseball Alberta's website has all the schedules too.
Does that cover minor ball?
That pretty much covers minor ball. Yeah, I think so.
Were you kind of forced into being the interim president because of the changeover? Or when will they take the interim off, or do you want that, Melissa?
I don't know. I get asked that a lot. I joined the board to be the vice president. My specialty is organizing things. I can organize and I can do lots on the back end. So that's why I joined. And the president just had to step down due to personal reasons. And we had very much the same philosophy. So I felt comfortable taking over from him. And I've put a lot of work into it this year that I may try it for another year or two and keep going and see where we can go.
Well, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the Bobcats and billeting. How many families would you need for billeting?
Like, how many are we short right now?
Yeah. Well, how many altogether, and how many are you short?
Altogether, we need around between 20 and 25 families, just depending on the year, depending on the billets, how many want to take one player, how many want to take two players, how many local players we have. Every year is a little bit different. Currently, I think we're short about maybe one or two. We're sitting pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're sitting pretty good. We've had, I think, 3 new families join here this spring. I've met with some people. So, yeah, whenever we post that we're looking for billets, we get a couple more inquiries and that sort of thing. So
what happens when you want to billet? Do you sit down with people, Melissa, and just, this is what it's like? Or?
Yeah. I'll go to their house and I'll meet them and just kind of get a tour of where the player's going to live and just make sure that they're going to have a bedroom to stay in, because we've heard horror stories of other associations, never Lloydminster, and just get a feel for the family and answer any questions that they have. Just let them know, what it entails to be a billet, some things that I've learned over the years, what I would suggest doing if I did it over again from the first time, the conversations that should be had, and yeah, just answer any questions they have and go from there.
What are those questions? What are they?
Generally, it's they want to just know, like, what does a day look like for a billet and how much extra work is it going to be and those sorts of things. So basically, I tell them it's pretty simple. All you're doing is welcoming another player into your family. It's they're going to become an extra son. If you have sons, you're going to get a bonus one. The players are pretty busy during the day. They fend for themselves for breakfast and lunch. We just ask that they provide groceries. So that's not like you're not their personal chef. They go for workouts in the morning. They're on the ice all afternoon, and then they come home for the evening. And we just ask that you include them in your family suppers and just make them feel welcome. And if you got young kids, get them down in the basement playing mini sticks and that sort of thing. So that's what it looks like a day in the life of a billet.
Pretty simple.
It is.
What questions do you get the most? I imagine there's a little bit of what about discipline and stuff like that?
Yeah. They'll ask, what are the rules? And I can honestly say I think this is my 7th year of billet coordinator. We haven't had too many problems. I basically joined the organization right around the same time that Nigel Dubé did, and he's revamped. He's done a really good job of revamping it, and he has always said he's got 4 core pillars, and he looks for good humans before he looks for good hockey players. So we might have the top scorer, but if they're not a good human, they're not going to fit the Bobcats' way. So in terms of that, we don't generally have a lot of discipline problems or anything like that. And the boys, they're here and they have goals. They want to go on to play hockey. They want to go on to do things in school. So they're here, they're focused, and they've got a job to do.
What do you do if you are interested? How do you get a hold of?
You just contact myself, look up the Bobcats Facebook page. They've got my email address. They just had a post yesterday, I think, on there. It's melissa.pederson@lpsd.ca. Make sure you look that up, though, because my name is spelt a little funny there. And you just send me an email, and I arrange a time to come and meet and answer any of your questions, let you know, what kinds of perks there are for billeting. We do lots of fun things. We always do pumpkin carving as a big organization together, and we build gingerbread houses at Christmas time and lots of fun things like that. So we become a little community of billets too. And so it's a nice way to meet people too, and people that are interested in hockey.
Some of the perks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you get to go to the games?
Yeah, you get season tickets for your immediate family that lives in your house. You'll all get season tickets, which should be exciting this year in the new Synovus Hub.
Yeah.
And then you get a stipend. We will try to help cover your groceries. I'm going to say it's probably not always enough to cover all of your groceries because they're growing boys, but it's pretty close to covering all your costs. You get some discounts at some of the local businesses. Those would be some of the perks that you get. Yeah.
Yeah, those are growing boys, aren't they?
Oh, yes, they are.
I remember, I was growing in the wrong way when I was that age, but maybe that was a different thing.
Yeah.
Anything else that, like you mentioned, is your name spelled right on the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at it as Norm Pederson, and we were in a bar, so it's pretty easy to remember.
Yeah. No, it's spelled correctly. So yeah, just send me an email or even message the Facebook page, and they'll direct you in the right place, or call the office and they'll give you the contact information that you need.
Am I forgetting to ask anything?
I don't think so. I think the Bobcats it's going to be an exciting season. We've got some new coaches on staff, and they're pretty excited to get things rolling, and they tell me it's going to be a really good and it's going to be a winning season. So
it's coming up here right away.
Yeah.
We're at the end of July already.
Yeah.
So you need those billets ASAP,
yep.
right?
The boys are reporting August 17th. So
okay.
I'm actually sitting down with Nigel tomorrow, and we're going to put the boys in the homes, and then we're going to actually see exactly how many billets we need. We haven't struggled in the past. It always works out. So I'm not worried.
Well, thank you, Melissa. We appreciate this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning. We'll be back at the new Lloydminster Nissan, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things. One is the big demolition derby coming to Lloydminster, the Boundary Wars. We'll be talking about that with some members of the Lloydminster exhibition, and we'll also be talking about that big summer market that's coming back to Sandy Beach this weekend as well, on the long weekend, and a 50-50 that is growing all the time, and we'll wrap up as well. So a lot to talk about tomorrow morning. Join us at the Canadian Brewhouse. We'll also have your live in Lloydminster for you as well, with a look ahead to what's happening in Lloydminster when it comes to entertainment. And of course, here at the Brewhouse tonight, the Blue Jays are on. There's always sports on. Big Rider game this Saturday night. And of course, it's a beautiful day. The patio is open. And thank you to the Canadian Brewhouse for hosting us once again for the Tuesday Night Sports Show.